So when people in Jamaica or Africa desperately want to go to America to make a certain amount of money, just know everything comes with a sacrifice. Everything comes with a sacrifice. So as soon as my family had the 6 bedroom house, the American dream, guess what? My mother died from cancer, because in America, it is very cancerous society. Every single thing, you have to be wary, of what you ingest. The environment you live in is so cancerous. So when people ask me, like, why would you give up, your successful career or business for Africa? This is one of the biggest reasons, is because I want to live a longer life. When you ask yourself, would you sacrifice money for health? You don't realize until you're losing people one by one by one, and you're witnessing all this death, that you're like, I don't give a damn about this money. Like, I feel like Africa overall will be a powerhouse very shortly, and I feel like it will be the opposite for America. And hey, I may be wrong, but that's where my intuition is telling me, and my intuition has never steered me in the wrong direction. Um, yeah. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lala, and today I'm going to be discussing why I pick up and left New York and left my 6-figure business to move to Africa and not have nearly as much money now as I did then. So let's get into the reasons. So I'm sure you guys are wondering, like, what? Why would you get up and leave your business to come to Africa and not make as much money? Listen, all right, let's get into it. In New York, I was running a hair business and I was doing faux locks. Faux locks in New York, people pay anywhere from $350 to $400 for a hairstyle. Each hairstyle takes me a few hours to do, so most days I'll have like 2 customers, some days one, some days three. So I was doing really successful, and before that, I had an online clothing boutique, and I made about the same money, if not more. So, that's a good thing about America is you can make lots of money there. You can make lots of money, but I started to question, like, what is my purpose? Is it just being a hairstylist? Is it having a hair business? Is it having an online boutique? Like, it wasn't really giving me you know, um, purpose doing those things. And people who have never made that type of money before may criticize me and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you left it. But once you really live in your life and you're making money, eventually you're gonna, if you really question life and you question like the deep meaning of life, you want to know like, what is your purpose? Why did God create me? And I realized like um once I was running my business, I started to hear a lot about Ghana and other parts of Africa, but Ghana specifically was the first place that I heard about. And then I just became like obsessed with the culture, obsessed with, seeing what they lied to us about for so many years because no one knew. Most people coming from America, we have no idea how Ghana looks. We have no idea how it's developing. They give us like skewed version of Ghana or any parts, all the other parts of Africa. We don't really get to see the full picture in America. So when I came here, like in 2018, and I visited, I was so excited to see, what is this like? And um, I was just like, wow, like I could really see myself being here, but I didn't know how to put that into motion or how to go about that. And yeah, I just once I came out here, I did a video about my experience, and lots of people had so many questions. And I'm that type of person. I love to help people. I love to help. I love to inspire. I love it. So once I realized how many people I touched, how many people I was motivating to take that trip, because taking this type of trip to Africa, firstly, it's expensive. Secondly, people are going to be asking you, why Africa? Why Africa? When you can just go to Europe, you can go here. And, because they've given us such of um, one-sided vision of Africa. So most of our peers always ask us, like, when you make that first trip, why Africa? Why Africa? Especially if, they're ignorant to the full perspective of it. So when I did come out here and I inspired all those people, I felt a sense of purpose. Purpose. And purpose is what gets you up in the morning. It gives you that drive. When I was making my money in America, I didn't have that drive. I didn't, it was nice to make that money, but I felt like I was just doing the same thing over and over and over. And I'm just someone who likes to go against the grain. I like to follow my heart. I don't care what people think. And honestly, I lost my parents, my mother and my father. I lost my mother at 19. And I lost my mother at 19 from cancer. And I lost my dad from cancer at 78 years old. I also lost my first uncle, which was a huge support system for me and my family and my siblings. And I lost him from cancer. And currently, if you guys have not seen me post in a while, it's because, I've been dealing with my sister. My sister is currently really ill from cancer, and it's not looking good for her. So that goes into my second reason. My second reason why I moved to Africa was I don't want my daughter to see me go through the health scares, the pain of losing someone from a sickness like cancer. I'm really trying to live a holistic lifestyle. So when people ask me, like, why would you give up, your successful career or business for Africa? This is one of the biggest reasons, is because I want to live a longer life. When you ask yourself, would you sacrifice money for health? You don't realize until you're losing people one by one, and you're witnessing all this death, that you're like, I don't give a damn about this money. Like, I want health. I want a long life. Yeah, we all want luxury. We all want to, live our best lives. We all want to have great experiences and be able to afford a certain type of lifestyle. I get that. But I would rather sacrifice for a year, 2 years, 3 years of not living that type of lifestyle to live a life of purpose, to live a life of health, to be healthy. You know, yeah, I would rather love to be healthy and live a longer life for my daughter. So when people in Jamaica or Africa desperately want to go to America to make a certain amount of money, just know everything comes with a sacrifice. Everything comes with a sacrifice. So as soon as my family had the 6 bedroom house, the American dream, guess what? My mother died from cancer. Because in America, it is very cancerous society. Every single thing, you have to be wary, of what you ingest. The environment you live in is so cancerous. And yeah, even when you're eating fruit, some of the fruit is fake. Most of the food is GMO based. Like, you really have to go out of your way and do your research to live a healthy lifestyle there. And even then, you're still getting fake food. So ask yourself, is it really worth it? And some people will say, yeah, because they've never experienced that type of financial success, but it's not worth it to me. I will rather sacrifice for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, like my parents did, to get what they wanted to achieve, to now walk my own path and, you know, do something different. And I think this is best for my bloodline. I want my daughter to be healthy. I want myself to be healthy. I want to wake up, and breathe fresh air. I want to eat fresh fruits. Yeah, so I'm worried about my health. My health. That is the number two reason. So yeah, purpose, health. What else? Let's get into the next reason. Another reason I decided to leave everything, come to Africa, is because I want to build a legacy. You know, I want to build I want to break generational curses, and build generational wealth, because I've always been a leader. I don't do what other people do. And I know some people look down on me because of it. And I could care less. But yeah, I don't do what others do. My parents were leaders. Like, they decided to go after their dreams. Their dream was to go to America, build a business. My mother was 48 when they moved there. My father was in his 50s. So, and they built a business and was successful within a few years. But me, looking at my parents, they have inspired me to follow my dreams and my path and lead my child to do what it is that she feels is right for her generation. So, me doing this is setting an example for her when she decides to be older. Me doing this is also setting an example for my peers, for my people, for the next generation. Follow your dreams, because you don't want to, if you want to do what your parents have done, the exact same thing, fine. But my parents led me to America, but sometimes you have to elevate. And for me to elevate, I'm not going to stay somewhere where my family is dying one by one by one. My sister is 44 years old and she is currently on her last leg with brain and lung cancer. Why would I stay in an environment that's killing my family? Like, absolutely not. So I decided to go in another direction. I've always been an explorer. Like I told you guys, I love to inspire people. I want to bridge the gap. My dad, he wrote books about Pan Africanism. He, wrote books about Marcus Garvey, and that was a huge interest. So he inspired me in that way. I am a Malcolm X fan. He didn't really care for Malcolm X. He seen him as somebody that's very radical. But I don't care. Like, that's how I am a little bit. And I do make radical moves myself, and I have, certain thoughts that, I'm just like not afraid to share my mind and share my thoughts and my vision, and yeah, I want to inspire people to bridge the gap, to grow as a person, to step out on faith, to um build unity between us, because I want to see my people win, so I just want to do something big. Like, I want to be legendary, as far as inspiring people. Some people want to be famous. Some people want to be, you know, the stereotypical image of success. I've always wanted to do something different. And the people I've looked up to is like Maya Angelou, um, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, people like this. Like, those are the people that I look up to, people who are not afraid to go against the grain. So that's how I am. And honestly, in America, it's so hard to like build generational wealth because the majority is not our skin color. It's Europeans, white Americans. They run America, and I think coming here and building a house, buying land is just so much easier than it is in America. So I see way more of a chance for myself and my daughter to build generational wealth here than it is in America. So yeah, this is one of the main reasons why I left America. I don't want to be known as having a hair business. I don't want to be known, and I'm not saying that's bad. Like, I still want to have businesses, I still want to do these things, but that's not what I want to be known for. I want to be known for leading millions of people to a path that they never even considered because I'm opening their eyes to something that they never even envisioned. So, yeah, this is one of the main reasons why I left. Another reason why I left America, left my business, was to because of intuition. You know, um, my intuition is telling me that the last will be first and the first will be last. And this is in the Bible. Yeah, but I think this is a time, you know. America was built from slaves, by my ancestors, and I feel like, the universe, it moves in a karmic way, you know. Everybody receives karma eventually. And it may not come initially, but eventually it comes. So there's good karma and there's bad karma. I feel like Africa is about to experience good karma, and America will experience the opposite because, and I'm starting to see that one by one. Yeah, so I'm starting to see that little by little, the what I'm discussing, and I feel like Africa overall will be a powerhouse very shortly, and I feel like it will be the opposite for America. And hey, I may be wrong, but that's where my intuition is telling me, and my intuition has never steered me in the wrong direction. Um, Yeah. So, you hear all of these news about China is about to hack America's infrastructure and all of this stuff, and how BRICS is about to take over and all of it. It's just not looking good for America. I'm just going to be honest. So, it may not happen immediately, but eventually, I'm looking out for my daughter, and I don't want to be somewhere that's declining. I want to be somewhere where it's elevates the nation is elevating and ascending. So this is one of the reasons why I decided to leave. One of the other reasons why I decided to leave is for peace and freedom. As you guys know, I moved here from Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn always experiences crime. It's always noise. You can hear kids cursing outside of my bedroom window. Like, there's just so much chaos and noise. And honestly, that is what, like, attracted me to Brooklyn when I moved there at first, because I came from Jamaica, where it's extremely peaceful. And then I lived in Atlanta, Georgia, where it's like a neutral, nice balance. But I had never experienced like chaos, like a chaotic environment, a noisy environment. And at the time, it was exciting. So I don't regret living in New York. I definitely don't regret living in America. I think it was the best decision for my parents to bring us there. But at this moment, I just want peace. I don't want no more. I don't want the bad news popping up on that. Like, I remember I downloaded this Citizen app in New York, and boy, I deleted it like the next week because all I kept hearing was gunshot here, a body chopped up and found in a trash bin. You know, all this crazy news, and it's like, I don't want to see this, like, because I'm a very empathetic person, and to see all the negative news all the time, it really takes a toll on my energy. So I just decided to delete the app. You know, at first I did it to be notified of what's going on in my area, but it was just like a overload of crime after crime. And you don't hear that much. And I'm not saying that crime doesn't happen in Africa or it doesn't happen here in Ghana, but not to the magnitude that it happens there. And yeah, I just felt like, especially when I had my daughter, I just felt like unsafe, always in it, having anxiety. I think after we left, we heard news of um, this guy throwing a smoke bomb on a train and started shooting people on the train, and nobody was killed, but a lot of people were injured. And it's just like, why? Like, and that's what I explain to my students when I teach English is because they ask me, is Africa safe? Yeah, Africa is safe. And I'm not saying that crime doesn't happen here, but it's usually petty crimes like theft, petty theft and, things like this. But it's not it's very predictable, when it happens. But in America it's very unpredictable. Like, you don't know why people are committing these crimes. It really doesn't make any sense why someone will go into a crowd of people and start shooting everybody. In America, since 2020, from 2020 to 2022, there was over 640 mass shootings each year. That means there were at least two shootings per day happening every day for the whole year, and mass shootings. We're talking about somebody going and shooting two or more people every day, two or more in the country. Like, that doesn't make me feel at ease. And I want to feel at ease. I want to feel safe. I don't want this anxiety. So that's one of the reasons. Also, freedom. I don't want to experience discrimination. And sometimes I feel like an outcast sometimes in Africa because once they hear me speak, they realize I'm different. And a few people may treat you different, but some people may embrace you. But overall, when I'm in a crowd, I'm not picked out of the crowd and say, hey, you're black, so I'm going to wrongfully arrest you, or I'm going to discriminate against you, or I'm going to be racist to you just because. I don't want to experience that. And I don't want my daughter to experience it. If I have a son eventually, I don't want him to experience that. My father, this is what I'm talking about. When you make that move and you making money, there's a sacrifice that comes with that. You have to experience discrimination, you know. Your health will decline if you're coming from a place where there's fresh fruits and fresh whatever. But yeah, my father, around the time we were living our American dream, let me just explain something about my father. He's a straight shooter, like a clean cut guy, like no history of crime, violence, not a violent man. He went to Cornell and he went to NYU. He got his master's at NYU for education. Like, he was a teacher, and he was a child care, they ran a child care business, my mom and my father. But he's never smoked. He may drink a Jamaican rum, like drink a shot of Jamaican rum every now and then, but he don't drink and drive. He doesn't do it. He never done anything crazy. He's just a disciplined, good, like disciplined man. And he is a strong man though. And this is who they target in America. If you have a voice, they will purposely go after you. If you're weak, they don't care anything about you. They probably won't bother you at all because you're gonna do whatever they say, you know. You're not going to speak up for yourself, but if you are a person that speaks up for yourself, if you are a strong black man, you are targeted. The same with women, but mostly it is the men being targeted with these police officers. So I remember police pulled my father over, and he didn't tell me until years later, and I was like, "Wow, Dad, I didn't know this happened to you," but they wrongfully arrested him for speaking up for himself, and asking him, why did you pull me over? And they don't like that strong attitude. They don't like it. So they just decided to lock him up. And that's how it works in America. It is covert corruption. Here in Ghana, it's overt. They'll let you know, like, we are about to corrupt you and we don't care, you know. But there it's like legal corruption. So by law, they don't have to tell you, why they're like they can tell you, they'll make up some stuff like, oh, we're arresting you for obstruction. They love to say that. Oh, we're gonna lock you up for obstruction because you spoke back to us, or you resisted, or whatever, and it's not until you locked up that you get to maybe face a trial. But guess what? Most people don't have money to get a lawyer and go to trial and wait up, and they don't have the time to wait around for a trial to happen and miss work and miss, their responsibilities. So he did go to jail for a short second, and how they get you is you have to sign a plea. You have to sign a plea deal if you want to get out immediately. If not, you have to sit in there and wait for your trial. So I didn't find out about this till later. This is what Black men experience and Black women experience in America. And I don't want that for my child. It's so many wrongful shootings against Black men and discrimination and Black women. And I want to stop it right here. This is a generation where it stops. So that is one of the main reasons why I left um, America. Yeah, so that concludes all of the reasons why I decided to leave America, and I do not regret it. I have sacrificed a lot of money and opportunities or whatever, but if you can do it once, you can do it again. It's just here, it takes a while to relearn an environment. Just like when my parents left Jamaica for America, they had to relearn the environment, and it took them a couple years to get the success that they deserved. But you guys, this is not an easy journey. Like I said, when you are experiencing abundance in one area, you have to sacrifice in another area. Here, you have to sacrifice convenience. You have to sacrifice sometimes customer service. You have to sacrifice, good customer service. You have to sacrifice a few things. But for me, it's worth it. So that's why I made the move. So whatever you prioritize, if Africa has that for you, I say make the move, and visit first, whatever you have to do to see if it works for you, and my journey is not identical to anyone's journey. This is my journey. And I love the choices that I make. And every day is not a walk in the park. It's not, but our daughter is happy always. And when I get past like the inconveniences we experience, like power outages, sometimes water outages, things like this, it's still worth it to me because I know that what I initially came here for, which was health, peace, freedom, unity, I'm experiencing all of that in fractions. And I love it. So if you guys want to take the risk, I say visit first, see what country works for you. I have plenty of videos that lead you in the right direction based on your personality type. I have lots of videos coming for you guys. And I hope I'm inspiring you guys. Like, that is the main reason I decided to start this journey. And yeah, I love Africa. Um, flaws and all. Flaws and all. So I thank you guys for watching this video. And yeah, in the next video, I will see you guys. Bye. One love.